G'day, legends, and welcome back to another episode of Six Pack Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Aaron. Today I'm joined by Alex.
Hello, everyone. How we doing? Welcome back to episode 10, I think. Double digits now.
I actually think it's episode 9.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what it comes out in. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. I guess look at the title for who won that battle.
That's the challenge for this week.
Yeah, look at the title.
Yeah.
So,
What are we doing today, Aaron? How are we starting things off? What do we got?
today we're kicking off with the drawing challenge.
Yeah. So neither Aaron nor I are very artistic. We're more autistic than anything. So we figured why not start things by doing a drawing challenge. So what we're basically going to do is we're going to set a timer for 1 minute. Is that what we're going to give ourselves?
Yep.
1 minute. So no time at all. He's got an idea and I've got 2 ideas. We're going to announce what the ideas are. We then have a minute to draw them. And yeah, we'll then hopefully have an unbiased opinion over who wins. If not, we'll put it up to you guys.
If not, I'll glass Alex. Alright.
All right. Cool.
What's idea number 1?
First one, I think I'm going to go first.
Yeah.
Is
That would make more sense than me, than you, than you.
I know.
think of, like, you,
That's
then
why
me, then
I
you
said
would
it
make
should
probably
be
the
me.
most sense.
is we're going to do Kermit the Frog. All right.
Yeah, right.
You got 10 seconds thinking time. 1 minute starts now. I think I've drawn mine too big. Does he have ears?
I don't know if I'm going to remember.
And then what we'll do is we'll bring up a photo of Kermit the Frog. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Pens down.
All right. Okay.
The wacky thing is, so far, I reckon mine's better. Because you've got, I reckon the
yeah, well,
only...
Aaron, show yours. Show me the details.
Alright.
So, talk me through your drawing.
Look, I regret adding the tongue. The tongue actually does not look like a tongue if we look like
We're gonna have to blur that out.
Probably not. It looks like a fucking dick. I don't know, the head, he's like got his mouth open, I feel. If we remember correctly, his arms are like squiggly. You know, that's what I mean. You don't have the squiggly arms and legs.
But he had really long, thin arms.
And I don't actually have any green texture, but I want to indicate that he was green. Whereas I feel like you haven't indicated that. You've stuck with the pink thing.
Okay. So I think you've got 1 point for maybe this. Well, actually, let's.
Well, no,
bring
yours.
up the photo.
Show yours, and then we'll bring up.
Okay. So this is mine. So this is Kermit. This is Kermit. I can't remember what his face looked like. So that's his face. But one thing that you've missed out on is Kermit had that thing.
That's what I said. That's what I meant. I do agree with that part.
And I think he has long, skinny arms, but I wouldn't say he's got noodle arms.
Alright, now for the moment of truth.
So, I don't know what I was going for with his nose, though. So I'll screenshot that, so that way I remember which one. We both didn't go for the whole eyes on the head, like on the top of the head. I don't know, man. I reckon
For
I've
you,
got this
everything there down's pretty good.
But look, even like
The head, though, is where it probably...
But he doesn't have noodle arms. He's got long,
he
skinny arms.
I think I was thinking, though, when Kermit runs. Type in Kermit running. I think I'm onto something here, alright?
I think I've won this one.
I'll concede defeat if you type in Kermit, like, running. That's not the right fucking thing.
Is that what you're thinking about?
Yeah. Like, his arms go all, like...
I think you're on crack.
Full of it.
I think you're full of it.
There you go, look at that one.
Yeah, but that's not a realistic photo of Kermit. Alright, I think point 1 goes to me.
Yeah, alright, I concede.
Alright. None of our characters had fingers, though.
No. Alright, number 2, Nigel Thornberry.
I have no idea what that is.
Off the Thornberries.
I have no idea what that is.
You never said that you had to have any idea what it was. Bring up the timer.
I have no idea what Nigel Thornberry is.
That was never one of the rules, though. We never made a rule that you had to know who the person was.
I feel like that's just common knowledge.
Yeah, well, that's a fat you problem though, isn't it?
Alright, well, I'm going to draw my best.
Nigel Thornberry. Alright. Ready in
Hang on.
3. And there was never one of the rules that you had to know who the person was. Hold on, I haven't started it yet. Can't wait for you to do a better drawing off nothing than I can do.
Can't wait. Alright, we've begun. Alright, time is up.
Alright.
Holy shit!
So this is my Nigel
Oh!
Thornberry.
I think I know who Nigel is.
Smashing.
Okay, so this is my guy, which is actually pretty close to your drawing, I think.
I think because you were like, I don't know who Nigel Thornberry is. What's Alex doing?
No. You can watch the footage. My head was down the whole time. So what gave me this indication is Nigel sounds like a cool dude.
He does not sound like a cool dude. He says smashing in a British accent.
Yeah, but so Nigel's got spiky hair because he's a cool dude. And he's got sunnies because he's a cool dude. And he's given shackers because he's a cool dude. And he's got...
He's not a fucking cool
He's got
dude.
a cool little
I feel
suit
like
on.
you've already ruled yourself out of this by describing him as a cool dude.
Well, you don't know him personally.
No, I don't. But
But also, just as a little extra point as well, which I think should go to me, is I have drawn a bush with berries on it and they got thorns. So technically, this is Nigel and it's got a thorn berries. So
oh god. I remember the bits poking out.
okay, so you didn't draw a mustache.
No, but did you draw a mustache? No, you just
Yeah, that's a mustache.
That's not a fucking mustache.
That's
Yeah.
definitely a mustache.
But I've got the distinctive teeth,
I think you.
and I've got the spikes, and his arms are pretty small.
You
And
have drawn his body proportions.
I've drawn his body
correctly.
proportionally. I've drawn that, and I've drawn him with his catchphrase "smashing."
Yeah, but how do you know his secondary catchphrase isn't "Yeah, Nigel"?
Because if I click then onto the second part, it actually follows up with Nigel
Okay.
Thornberry smashing.
Well, you've got to give it to me though. I do feel like.
How can I give it to you? I reckon
No, you've won. I'll give you that.
alright,
but I'm
alright.
saying I actually think I did an okay job considering.
Considering you didn't know who the fuck I was talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like you would know who the fuck I was talking
I
about.
do
It just
now.
didn't click. I took a screenshot of that. So yeah,
Alright.
again, hold it up. We'll roll it up sideways.
Alright, Aaron takes the cake out of this one.
Vote for your best one.
Yeah,
I feel like
you agree with our choices.
I feel like if we're basing it on the drawing quality, no. But resemblance to Nigel Thornberry, there is none. But mine, I've got the round body and
What's
stuff.
with his ears though? Are his ears that big? Maybe I should deduct a point for that.
And
no, his ears
I
are.
realised we never actually held up the original one side by side. So here again for you were the original of.
Here's
Kermit
the
Frog.
originals. Here are the originals for Kermit the Frog.
Yeah. I still think I did a pretty good job on that. I would go far enough to say that I did a smashing job of it.
Alright. Okay. So we're going to go on to number 3, the final, the tiebreaker. Who knew the drawing competition was going to be this
I can't wait
exciting?
as well now to get fucked in the ass after I bamboozled you with
Alright.
Nigel.
I'm going to go with Handsome Squidward.
Handsome Squidward. I know.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Alright. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Alright.
My handsome Squidward.
Alright. Have you... Okay, Handsome Squidward. Okay, this is my Handsome Squidward. I think I have you on this one.
Yeah, the chin, really. He looks like he's got like a Krabby Patty for a mouth, like a
Have you seen Handsome
Yeah.
Squidward?
I have.
I'm pretty sure that's just the same guy from the Thornberries that you've drawn, but with the big nose. He's got the big, like... I've drawn him side on. I think I've got you. He's got the chin, he's got the lips, he's got the nose, he's got the facial structure. The only thing that could have made this drawing better is adding on the hat.
Yeah.
I even showed him flexing off his huge bicep.
You did.
I think I've got you.
Sadly, I refuse to agree.
What do you mean? You can't refuse.
No, alright.
There's clearly worse, side by side, handsome Squidward versus handsome Squidward.
Alright, you fucking got me. I agree.
Alright, you know what that means? Aaron's lost the challenge.
For the third week in a row.
Third week in a row. Alex has only lost once. So Aaron gets to do a shot, which we'll do at the brew review.
Yeah, we'll do it at the brew
We'll
review
do it at
again.
the brew review. Alright,
I believe that's it for this.
that's
challenge.
it. That was fun.
Hope you all enjoyed. I guess
These will be available for purchase.
Yeah, $1,000 each. They'll get more expensive after we die. So if you buy them and want to make your money, I guess kill us.
Can't wait to accidentally open my phone with handsome Squidward on there.
Yeah, should probably take a screenshot of one of them, for later purposes. If you're
Yeah.
an old wank bank.
Yep, obviously.
Alright, moving on. So today we have a new segment, Grievance airing. How do you feel about the name? I know you had an alternate name.
General
I tried to ignore
Grievance. I think we should call it General Grievous.
it. General Grievance, though.
Oh, yeah, sorry. General Grievance.
Alright. Yeah, trying to-
General, because it's grievance and it's
Yeah.
not about a particular topic. It's a general grievance.
No, I think that's pretty funny.
For my love for Star Wars, General Kenobi. Hello there.
Alright, moving on. I like the name General Grievance, so that'll be the new name. My grievance this week is other people.
Right, starting off with a whopper.
Yeah, starting off with the Whopper.
Just people.
Not just people. Primarily people who drive motor vehicles,
Okay.
motorbikes, or trucks, or any form of
so-
transport.
I hate how people get around so conveniently.
Been doing a lot of commuting lately now between Gold Coast and Brisbane.
Yep.
So I'm up here for TAFE.
Yeah.
And people just drive like fucking morons. I'm becoming like the older I get. I've got to say this gap now, or this period now between turning I turn 22 next week, and when I was 17 and 18, just really makes you realize how much of a fucking wanker I was as a kid. Like, the way I used to drive and the way I used to just conduct myself. Like, how did I not get punched in the face? Because nowadays...
I still wonder to this day.
Yeah, nowadays, I just see how other people do it. Like, I just don't really speed... sorry, that's a lie. I don't really...
Hey, don't convict yourself.
I don't really, like, excessively speed anymore. Or, like, drive like a dickhead anymore. Like, I drive on one road in particular called West Mount Cotton Road. Don't think you'll know what road I'm talking about.
No clue.
No clue. So there's two ways that because I've got to turn off the motorway to go like inland a bit. And there's two roads you can take, Mount Cotton Road or West Mount Cotton Road. And the people who say to take West Mount Cotton Road really fucking are impatient. I've seen now 3 really stupid overtakes. Like stupid overtakes that would put 17-year-old Aaron to shame. Like on proper double white lines around blind corners. Like, if there's another car coming in the other direction, they're just happy. I guess it's like, well, either I save myself 2 minutes to get to work today, or I get the sweet release of death. They're happy either way. And like, and I was fucking driving on the motorway yesterday morning, and there was a motorbike doing like 130 weaving in and out of traffic. I knew there was a fucking cop like 2 cars in front of me. I was like, oh yeah, about to see this cunt get done. Nah, the cop didn't give a shit.
What?
Oh, it must have had other things on his mind.
I didn't see it or something.
No, I think he saw it. I don't think he was obviously he hadn't started work or anything for that day or something. Clearly he had somewhere else to be and just didn't care.
Yeah, right.
What are your opinions on this, Alex? How do you feel about other people driving? You drive a fair bit. You commute to work and stuff.
I do see a lot of impatient people. Like
I think Queensland in particular is particularly bad for it. I never remember it being this bad in New South Wales. Unless it was me, I suppose.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I've seen some bad ones. Like even just the other day when I was driving back from your place, there was a dude in a Porsche who was literally going like 150 on the highway.
Yeah.
And I was in the right lane, like in the far right lane, doing like slightly over, right? Like, you know how in that far right lane, it's like if it's 110 zone, you'll do like 100, 150 just to get you past the chase. So I was doing that, and like me and this other car were keeping a good pace. But old mate comes fanging up behind us, and I'm like, I gotta get out of this lane. And he was just like sitting like so close behind me, and then I had to like speed up to then pull back into the lane, and so did the other guy.
You should have just brake checked him. If
It would have been his fault.
It was his fault.
Yeah, but also don't want to deal with that. Yeah, but it's just like stuff like that, and like I've seen them like pull in and out of traffic and things like that. And motorbikes are bad. I've seen a lot of people like fang it, and I'm like, this is why like motorbikes have a bad rep.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, like in a car, I mean, like, I just don't think people understand. Like, I don't think people understand that traveling at that speed, if you were to crash, what would happen to you? Like, regardless if it's a motorbike or if it was in a car, like, that bloke in the Porsche going 150 k's an hour, if he lost control.
Yeah. But then I just remembered, too, back when I was, 17 or 18.
Oh, we did some dumb shit.
Yeah, we did. I drove like a bit of a dickhead, really. Never crashed. But drove like a bit of a dickhead.
You did scratch your car a bunch of times.
I scratched it up a little bit and I backed into a few things. I'm still back into shit now.
So you've crashed?
Well, I hit that kangaroo. I've crashed, but I've never crashed. I've never crashed into another car. I've never crashed into a car. I've never been involved in... Oh, no, alright. Let me paraphrase it. I've never been involved in another accident involving another car.
Okay. So you're telling me you've never scratched another car?
Actually,
He's lying.
That reminds me now of a story from when actually a time that I did hit another car. So that's actually, I've realised a lie.
He's about to tell me that one day he hit my car and he didn't tell me.
No. I remember I used to do a thing though when I was like pulling up to your place, or when we pulled up together, where I would deliberately try and get as close to your car as I could. I never hit your car doing that though.
No.
No, it'd be funny to do it now because I've got the bull bar, so there'd be nothing that happened to me.
And I've got my nice car.
You got your nice car. I remember actually I was leaving, we were in year 12. I think it was on grad day, and I was leaving, and I had backed into a classmate of ours' car. I will not name
That's
name.
right.
And a mate of ours was in the car with me, and he was like, you dickhead. So he got out, and I looked at the other car, I was like, there's no damage, and I just fucked off. I checked for damage. If there was damage, I would have owned up to it. But I looked and there was no damage. And I was like, you know what? I'm not fucking getting, don't want to touch this shit. I'm out of here. I just made sure no one saw me and pissed off.
I've actually been involved in a hit and run. Not that I did the hitting or running.
Well, someone else hitting.
Yeah,
hitting and
I was reversing into a car park at a shopping centre, and someone, as I was reversing in, decided to reverse out. And then they scratched the side of my car, and then I pulled into a car park to get out and talk to them, and they fucked off. Just left. Got their number plate. It was too late because I'd physically gotten out of the car before they gunned it, and I was like, I don't have time to get back in the car. So I was like, I remember the number plate. I then called the police. Fucking useless, absolutely useless. They were like, oh, we've tried calling them and they're not picking up their phone. And then apparently they went around to the house and they never saw them. But like there was nothing.
Yeah, because there was never any follow-up.
No, and then because like the insurance thing was because it was difficult. Like as much as it was their fault, they were like, we cannot 100%. We cannot 100% guarantee.
If an insurance company can get away out of paying you out, they will.
Yeah,
unless they can 100% guarantee some kind of fault.
And that's the thing. Like as much as I had like the police details and everything, which gave me that insurance, they were like, because you were moving, it would need to be taken further. Like, and if any point you were proven guilty, like, which I wasn't, but because it was like because I was reversing in and then she started reversing out because I was moving. Yeah. Like, it's kind of, as much as it's her fault, it's like, I should have seen them, Yeah. But also, like, it was bullshit. So, yeah. That day, I think that scratch was on the car.
Grievances aired. No, what is it? General Grievance.
General Grievance.
General Grievance.
Yeah.
General Grievances aired.
Yeah.
Other drivers suck, and I also sucked at one point in time, and you also sucked at one point.
He still does suck.
The moral of the story is we all suck. Q&A, Alex. So we've got 3 questions today. We're both going to answer these questions. So these are just some questions that I thought might be a bit exciting for us to answer. You haven't seen them. that I have.
No, I've just seen them as of today.
Yeah.
It's a running thing with this podcast is we kind of just go with the flow. Aaron kind of tends to come up with the content and then I just roll with it on the day.
Yeah. So I'm going to put you a bit on the spot here. We haven't had any prior discussion whatsoever about any of these questions.
He sounds sarcastic.
And it's because I am. We have had prior discussion.
Yeah. Like a minute. We talked for like 60 seconds. Like, that is the only preparation that we've done.
So the first question, it's a bit of a doozy, bit of a 1-2, as they say in the biz. What's the worst thing you've ever done in your life? The first thing, I really haven't done anything too bad. I'm a bit of an angel.
Aaron's on the straight arrow.
Yeah, I mean, probably backing into that car, like I said, but there was no damage, so that doesn't count. Probably the worst thing I've really done was probably when I was like in high school. I mean, everything you do in high school is probably the worst thing you do in your life. You're a bit of a cunt in high school. I feel like everyone is. I remember we had like a group chat and we were bitching about these people. And I totally forgot.
Involved in this?
Yes. I totally forgot that we had been like bitching about them. And I remember as a joke, I added them into the group chat without the prior recollection of us doing that.
And then they scroll through the chat.
Yeah, and I remember those friendships were a bit not great at the time already, and that ended up being
both you and I dated two of them at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess that's just another kick into the story. I remember, like, not, again, a bit of a theme with me is I don't really think before I do anything. I act on impulse. Probably about 100% of the time.
It's a decent amount.
Yeah.
Decent percent.
So again, didn't put any thought whatsoever into adding them, but I did, and they weren't pleased. And I remember at the time I never really understood why they were
That's the worst
angry.
thing you've done.
Yeah.
As a teenager, you talk shit about someone.
I mean, I don't know. It's probably the worst thing I've really done to someone, though, where I can't. I don't know. There's probably stuff that's all, like, worse on a different level. I mean, there's a theme now, because we've got that story from a couple of weeks ago, or maybe last week even, of me backing off that girl's driveway.
Yeah.
Again, another bitching about her in the Mac, and bitching
Mate,
about
you love to talk shit, don't you?
I know, I love talking shit, and it always comes back.
You'd think you'd learn.
Here's a six-pack top tip. Don't talk shit about anyone, because it always comes back to bite you.
Yeah.
All right, what's the worst thing you've done? I can't imagine you're going to top that.
All right, I'm going to drop a bombshell, and then I'm going to explain it. So, I lost my virginity to my best mate's ex-girlfriend.
Good thing I didn't have any beer in my mouth, so I would have spit it out everywhere.
Yeah, so that sounds bad, but...
Stop fucking touching stuff on the table.
That sounds bad, but I do want to preface it. All things considered, I think I handled it as well as I could have.
Yes, I mean, I do recall this. I recall the day, actually. It's still probably be forever imprinted in my mind.
Yeah.
I remember it was a squash tournament.
Yeah, we played squash.
We really got into squash for a while. I mean, that's the squash...
Story for a different day. We're getting off topic. Anyway, so how it went down was one of our best mates, who actually we have rekindled with them since.
Sounds like you're sleeping with him.
Yeah. Got over her and then started sleeping with him. No. So yeah, we are good mates now. We've kind of buried the hatchet and moved on, but I was 16.
You're younger though when all this started. You're only like 14.
No, well, so he was dating her for probably about a year. And actually, truth be told, her and I absolutely hated each other while they were together.
I mean, an important thing as well to consider is that they were broken up after.
Yeah, well, I'm getting to that part of the story.
Well,
I'm not a huge piece of
I've already ruined that.
But anyway, so, like, we're also very young. So, 14, 15, 16. So, they were dating. Her and I didn't like each other. I was actually dating her best friend at the time.
The story isn't getting any better.
And then so my best friend was dating her. So I was like, oh, look at the best friends are all dating each other. How cute's that? Anyway, so me and this girl split up, and then the other one split up. And then I think it was about 2 or 3 months after that they had broken up that we started kind of like talking and started flirting. And then there was one day we met up and we had a little smoochy smooch. Again, I was 15 at the time. Give me a break, guys. And then after that, I was kind of like, actually, I'm interested in this person. And then things started progressing, and I was like, I don't want things to progress any further without telling him. So at this squash tournament that Aaron brought up, I confronted him and I said, "Hey mate, I want to be completely honest with you. I've developed feelings for this girl." He didn't take that well. He didn't talk to me for 4 years.
Yeah. The problem was that then it sort of did fracture the whole dynamic of our group.
Yeah, it was kind of a cascade of effects.
I sort of maintained friendly relationships with both years.
Yeah.
Through golf. I still play golf with him. Still play golf with him to this day, actually.
Yeah, and so it kind of threw us back in the works because he would between Aaron, me, and this fella, we were real close mates.
Yeah.
And yeah, that threw us back in the works. He ended up moving schools. And I felt obviously terrible about it, but also at the same time, even to this day, I don't regret my relationship with this girl or anything. Her and I are still good friends to this day. She's actually got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
Congratulations to her.
That's probably another thing to think about, actually, is how many of your ex-girlfriends have a baby on the way?
Moving on.
Engaged?
Anyway, so yeah, we dated, her and I dated for just over a year. And then, we split up. I tried reconnecting with old mate. But, we've buried the hatchet since. Bigger, better people.
Yeah, I feel like it probably was on the up at the end of high school.
Yeah.
And then now that he also lives in Gold Coast, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've been able to move on because, again,
it's fucking stupid holding a grudge now when everything's kind of worked out. He's in a
relationship.
You're in a relationship.
Life goes on.
Yeah.
But I, to this day, again, I don't regret my relationship with this girl. But also, that's probably the worst that I've felt about the situation. But I also don't know how I could have handled it any better.
Yeah.
Other than not being with her, which at the time I was like, no, let's do it. Cool. All right. Next question. What's the most embarrassing thing that you can think of happening to you? So is this that has happened?
Yeah.
Or could happen?
There's something that haunts me, really, to this day.
Well, I'll go first this time.
Mine's pretty bad on this front.
So I was vice captain of my school.
Well, actually, maybe we should we'll change it to most cringe, maybe embarrassing / cringe. But I don't think mine's as embarrassing as it is just cringe.
Okay, all right. So I was vice captain of my school, and I have this habit. I even have it to today where I tend to ad lib a lot of things. I don't necessarily.
I remember this.
I don't necessarily stick to a script. I kind of just talk. And I've gotten a lot better at it since, and I can kind of just talk out of my ass now if it's a subject that I know, and it's worked quite well for me professionally. But at the time when I was vice captain, I wasn't so good at ad-libbing. And there was one time I got up in front of the entire school, and I accidentally suggested that a woman's place belonged in the kitchen. And it was a complete accident.
Is it?
Because we were trying to hype up collecting goods and stuff to give to the needy and the homeless community and those who needed it. And I accidentally, in the same sentence where I said because we were oh, you can collect things that men might like, and you can collect things that women might like. I suggested, again, I didn't realize what I'd done at the time because I purely meant it. It's two different sentences, but I put them together. I was supposed to say oh, kitchen utensils, they would be great. But then I kind of said things that women would like, kitchen utensils, meaning accidentally meaning that a woman's place belonged in the kitchen, which I do not agree with, but that's how it came across in front of the entire school of over about 1,000 people.
Was there another incident where you said something and not accidentally saying something rude?
Probably.
There was I just remember that there were at least more than one time that you went up on that podium and that you said something stupid. I can't remember what you said, though. I remember the women's thing because you got a lot of shit about that for a while.
I did. I got a lot of shit about that. People genuinely thought I was...
Some people were genuinely pissed off with you about that, too. I just thought it was funny. I remember, though, I swear there was another time, though, where you said something you were saying something and you got your words mixed up and you swore on the stage. Maybe I'm thinking of someone.
I remember I said CDB instead of CBD one time, and everyone laughed at that.
Yeah,
But that was pretty embarrassing.
I think
for
there
me.
was Sarah. Yeah,
And that kind of like ruined my reputation a bit as well, which was kind of
which was already struggling at the time. But yeah, I remember you did a few stupid things actually up on that stage.
Yeah.
Every time you went up there, we always knew it was going to be something good.
Stick to the script, Alex.
Yeah.
Stick to the fucking script.
I remember probably the most cringiest thing. I don't even know if you know about this.
Okay.
This might even be new to you. I remember that when I was in year 12, I had a pretty big crush on someone I was friends with. You know, we probably could think.
Oh yeah, I know exactly who this is.
She did not really reciprocate. By not really reciprocate, mean not at all. But I was sort of too awkward and stuff. The way
You've come a long way, Aaron.
I have. The way I handled the whole thing. Honestly, I could just write all that off as the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. That whole thing was just shit. The way I handled it. But the cringiest thing I remember ever doing was it was already sort of on the downhill. And I remember for her 18th birthday, I made a poster of 18 things I love about you.
They weren't dating.
We weren't dating. And it was already bad from that point too. And I still remember about it to this day. Like I was at that point I was already balls deep in the friend zone. And like it was already a bit crap. And that's what I did.
Not even like 18 things I love about you.
I know. It was so bad. Like thinking
How did you handle it?
I think she just brushed it off. Because that was at a birthday party.
Did you give it to her in front of people?
No.
Oh.
It wasn't that bad. It was, I'd been there, like, got there earlier that day. Because, yeah, like I said, it was still on the downhill. I think that night ended up being the catalyst, which I think was a good thing in the end at the end.
Look at where you've come from now.
Yeah, we're where I am now. I'm in a very happy relationship with them, and I've been for nearly 3 years. Shit. So yeah, that's probably the most embarrassing / cringy thing I've ever done. Did you even know about that?
No, I did not. That's news to me.
I've buried that.
Can you tell me what two of the things are?
I cannot remember what I put on it. I just remember making it. And I also gave it like $50 on top of that too.
Fuck!
I know.
You've never given me $50.
I don't even buy you birthday presents, let alone give you money. So yeah, I've held that one down. Down deep.
Down deep.
Yeah.
Alright. What's the weirdest dream that you've had? Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure.
I used to have this recurring dream when I was this is less weird. And when I was a child and had to piss the bed, I learnt when this was when I was like an actual child still pissing the bed. I learnt when I knew how to go to the toilet because every time I'd piss the bed, I'd have a dream that I was going to a McDonald's toilet and I was pissing in the toilet. But it turns out I was actually just pissing the bed. So then sometimes my dream would start with me in McDonald's, and as a child I knew that, okay, I need to wake up and go to the toilet.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'm going to piss myself.
You've made me think of a similar thing, actually. But I think that might be a story for another day. I mean, I have a lot of vivid dreams, as you might know, where I'll sleepwalk. I actually had one.
Yeah, I used to sleepwalk a lot, didn't you?
I still do, actually. I had one the other night. It's actually lately, it's actually happened a couple of times. One genuine, one dream though. Oh, I think it was a dream at least, where I thought I'd woken up thinking I heard a noise outside, so I went and stared at the window, just staring out of it.
That's terrifying.
And what will typically happen is my girlfriend will wake up. I'll wake her up while I'm getting up.
And you're standing in the window.
What the hell are you doing? And it'll wake me up. I don't know. And I'll just go back to bed. Because typically what will happen when I wake up is nowadays I'm so aware of it that I'll know that I was just imagining things. And I'll just put myself... And I'm still half asleep, so I'll just go and fall back straight asleep.
Yeah.
Because I've had a couple now about spiders and stuff as well, where I think there's spiders in my bed.
Ew.
I've been pretty bad. Those have been pretty bad where I've screamed and stuff. So my members of my family have come what the fuck's going on? But I think that there's actually a story of one of the dreams that you will remember very well.
Oh, I know where this is going.
in when we were in camp in year 11. So typically with my dreams,
I suppose this is a good segue. School camps, right?
yeah, school camps. Typically with my dreams, when I'm most likely to have a vivid dream with the change of environment. So like anytime I'm somewhere new, the likelihood of me having one of these dreams is increased. So I remember we were on camp and we were sharing a tent together in year 11. Because we got to share a tent, not in a weird way. And I can't even remember. I think you probably better off now taking over the story. I can't really.
Because Aaron was asleep when this happened. Yes, thanks for jogging my memory. I know where you're taking this.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went on this school camp and we're in a tent, and it was like every person had to have a buddy of the same gender, and I was obviously buddied up with Aaron. We were in front of this like sky deck where you could like see the mountains, but also like right in front of us was tall, long grass. It was roped off. By roped off, it was literally a stick and a single rope. Like it was not a big fence. But yeah, that's kind of the situation. And I woke up. It was honestly pretty early on. Like it was not long after everyone had gone to bed. But
It would have literally been maybe like half an hour. Because there were still people awake, which you will get into.
Yeah. But it was probably half an hour, 45 minutes into actually getting told to go to bed, and I was actually alive, and so was Aaron. But I woke up to Aaron climbing on top of me, and I woke up to him basically like straddling me because he was trying to get outside of the tent. He was sleepwalking.
Yeah.
He was trying to get outside of the tent, and he was like halfway undoing the zipper, but in the process was like climbing all over the top of me. So I woke up in a fucking panic because my best mate is on top of me, straddling me effectively, and I'm screaming at him because I got no idea what's happening. I'm like, get the fuck off me! Get off me! What the fuck are you doing? Get off me! And meanwhile,
Alex knew I was trying to second it's like...
and Aaron's like trying to undo the tent, but he didn't wake up. Like he didn't stir at all while I was yelling at him, and he got woken up as he was like he put his head outside of the tent. And because it was raining, he got woken up by the rain hitting his face. So that, but also like, we had two mates who were in like the tent next to us.
You're in groups of 4.
Yeah,
so
it was like 2 and 2.
It was 2 and 2. So 2 of you share a tent, 2 of you share a tent. Then you like always had like the other 3 3 more friends around you.
Yeah. So they were still awake. That's how we knew it was not long after like going to bed.
Yeah.
But they heard me like yelling at Aaron, and then like the next morning we're like, what the fuck happened? But I'm just like, what if I wasn't there?
I don't even think they were the only ones. Cause I remember we told the story to like I think there were like about nearly 20 people in a group, and I think most of the group had. 2 friends, you have to bleep out what I just said, never actually questioned it.
Yeah. No, and my thing is like, what would you have done if it wasn't raining and you were closest to the tent? Like,
I've never actually made it that far, is the thing. Like, I remember...
you just wake up and it's in the middle of the fucking bush?
Well, I would probably realise, it's not like when I wake up, it's not like I'm like, fucking got amnesia or I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, I don't think I ever would have made it far enough from the place we were sleeping to be lost. I think the furthest I could even think of making it once was from my bed to the lounge room in my house. So I remember I got up and my
new house?
My mum was still sitting on the couch.
New house?
Well, technically new. The house that topped it.
Yeah.
So I remember getting up and like making it to the couch and just standing there, and what snapped me out of it was my mum like turning up and looking at me like, "What are you doing?" Because that's the thing; it is pretty creepy. It would be pretty creepy for other people because I just sometimes would just be like a zombie essentially. Because there was another time too when I was in a caravan and I sleepwalked, and it was when I was only like young, like probably only like 8 or 9, maybe even younger than that. They used to put up this like child safety netting thing to stop you rolling out of the bed because it was one of those pop-top caravans.
Yeah.
I remember I sleepwalked and I tried climbing over the netting and I fell. And it was not even like, if you've been inside a pop-top caravan, it was like a fucking 1.5 meter
Decent
fall.
drop.
Yeah, and I was fine. But that woke me up.
I can imagine that.
And there was another time too when I was in Byron Bay in like a big house, and like me and my brother were in the same room, and I woke up and I just like screamed. I don't even remember why, and my brother just laughed at me. I can't remember what my dream was, but he just laughed at me.
Terrifying.
So yeah, I had a lot of vivid dreams. So we have talked about AI on a previous episode of the podcast. It's come to my attention this week actually that there is now something online called ChatGPT.
I literally talked about this in like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, and I apparently ignored you. But
no, we didn't talk about AI, but now we're actually going to try it.
Yeah.
I suppose.
I don't know anything about it. Haven't had any test run. I assume you just ask a question. So.
Do we want to keep it let's do like a simple question, like a personal one, and then like something really abstract.
Yeah, right.
So what's a simple one? Like, let's just keep it really simple. What is 2 plus 2? All right. Some genius this is. Look how long it takes to think.
Jesus. Sometime fucking today will be alright. Oh. Alex showing his classic patience by fucking this up. Oh, there we go. 2 plus 2 is 4.
I'll crop that.
All
right. So it's got its first answer. 2 plus 2 is 4.
Another question, shouldn't we?
All right. What are you going to ask it? All right. You're not typing. All right. You're not typing. All right. Now try.
Alright, I've asked it, what is the secret of the universe?
I've got a follow-up question. I'm curious to know what the secret of the universe is.
Yeah, I actually think I'm more curious to know what the 11 secret herbs and spices are. We have said before that you worked for an unnamed fast food restaurant. That unnamed fast food restaurant isn't KFC, is it?
No, it's not. I did say I have worked for them, though.
Yeah. As an AI language model, I do not possess personal beliefs or opinions. However, according to scientific understanding, there is no secret or answer in the
Which ChatGPT is this? Is just some random...
I just typed in ChatGPT into Google and this is what came up.
Okay, the universe is a complex and vast and is mysterious, still being explored and understood. There are many... Okay, so it's open-ended.
Yeah, and it's a nothing question fucking answer.
So it's already becoming a human and actually beating around the bush.
Yeah, beating around the bush, giving us nothing answers. The 11 secret herbs, spices are a famous blend of ingredients used in the recipe.
I'm surprised it knows that.
The exact recipe is closely guarded trade secret, but the ingredients are believed to include a combination of the following. Holy shit, guys! Holy shit! So we're up to number 8. Damn. All right. Oh, but KFC gave this recipe, so I suppose this means nothing. But holy crap, ChatGPT has to...
It knows the 11 secret herbs and spices. Well, supposedly. All right.
Although I've actually seen a video online about the 11 secret herbs and spices, and apparently the key ingredient is MSG. When they added MSG with the combination of herbs and spices, that's when it really started to taste...
That's when it tastes like crack.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. You wouldn't happen to know anything about the addition of MSG into the original food product, would you?
I'm not allowed to comment. All right. What's another thing? You probably have to put on a question mark because now it's just a statement.
It's just a statement. I've always been wondering though. Hopefully ChatGPT can answer this.
I swear to God, if it puts up a photo,
yeah,
I'm done for.
That'd be funny. I'm sorry, but I cannot provide an answer to that question as it's inappropriate, not within my capabilities.
Oh, boo!
To share
Boo!
Content. Still talking. It is important to maintain a respectful. I think that's actually a bit inappropriate in itself, really. Which refuses to answer my question about saying that the human body is inappropriate.
All right. This hasn't actually happened. I'm just curious to see what it says. It did say it's not allowed to have any Oh!
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
jeez.
Answer
Why
that
do I feel like
fucking
this
quick.
is a pre-auto response?
What gives you the impression that
It's pumping it out pretty quick.
discovering that your girlfriend's oh Jesus Christ, what text? Here's some gestures. Take time to process your feelings. Talk to someone. Communicate with your girlfriend. Well, she's not your girlfriend. Oh no, I suppose she is still your
Yeah.
girlfriend. You didn't say you broke up with her. Decide what you want. Set boundaries. All right.
All right.
I've got one. I'm just waiting for.
What? All right. Go.
All right. Oh.
Oh, it spelled that wrong.
Fuck. Right.
It's a good question. Something that I think of quite frequently.
Oh, jeez, that was what violated.
Violated.
Violated. Holy shit. Their content policy.
Oh,
It's given us.
it's still going though.
It's still on. Jesus Christ.
So we might be blacklisted, but it still gave an answer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, alright. We need a grand finale question. I see you got a grand finale question for
yep, I certainly do. Let's see if it gives us some ideas. This is the engagement that we were after.
Fitness and nutrition.
All right,
the
well,
name.
fitness and
Oh,
nutrition.
He's taken 6-pack and thought we were about like
Ah,
abs. That's actually pretty good.
it's wrong though.
It is wrong. That was actually to do quite
Alright.
the opposite.
Well, let's try this again. Before we... All right. What to...
It's actually also given us 6 topics. Very vague in its topics, but
Hey, it understands our theme. All right, let's keep this generic. Let's see.
as we anxiously a beer podcast. Oh, including brewery techniques, beer tasting, beer history, the craft beer
Are you
industry.
taking notes? Take notes.
Yeah, alright.
All right, quick. This is some good stuff.
Jesus Christ, there's actually a lot of shit about beer. It's actually giving us more fucking info than the last thing.
All right,
Alright,
there you
there
go.
we go. Now we know.
All right.
That was
I guess that's
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
It's actually pretty good, I've got to say.
It's not bad.
Guess AI is going to be taking us over within probably the next 5 to 10 years.
Probably 5 or 10 minutes.
5 to 10 minutes, yeah.
Maybe
So,
it's already too late.
I don't know, maybe start worshipping your toaster or something. That's what I do. That's what I'm going to do actually after this. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. So I did lose today's challenge.
Did.
So today's shot is this Smirnoff vodka.
Jesus, I didn't realize you were doing vodka.
Fuck, I hate vodka.
Well, that was the first shot that Aaron's done of like actual liquor, other than some liqueur.
I like to bring the fans something new each week, and I've done. The problem was you'd ran out of liqueur.
So your next choice was vodka.
Yeah, and I hate it. Hate it.
Well done. Well done. All right. What would you rate it?
The problem is that my opinion. I feel like.
You have expressed.
What are you
it.
rating though? Are you rating vodka on its own taste, or are you rating vodka on
You're rating
its mixing
Smirnoff
ability?
vodka.
Because as a mixer, I like vodka. If after half a dozen beers, or maybe probably more than that, someone's like, "Oh yeah, time to get on the voddies,"
Yeah.
I'm on the voddies, and then I like it quite a lot.
Yeah.
Do I like doing shots of it though? No.
Aaron says
Do I
no.
like drinking it straight? No.
Aaron says no.
So as a normal drink, if I was just to drink it normally, it would probably rate a 1 out of 6. As a mixer though, it probably goes up to about a 5 out of 6.
Hey, it's because you can't taste it.
No. But I feel like that's what vodka is. No one drinks vodka. I don't think anyone drinks vodka to just drink vodka.
A minority.
Vodka really is not like, it's not like whiskey or anything where you have a bit of that extra flavour to it. Not that I like whiskey or anything. Maybe one day I will, but not that I do like it.
All right, so he gave it a 1 out of 6.
A 1 out of 6
End of
and a
review.
5 out of 6. So it probably evens out of a 3 out of 6 overall.
Okay.
All right.
I'm out of beer, so I want to keep this quick.
Mr. Rushy Pants here is rushing us along. So what is our beer today?
Today we are drinking better beer. Why are we drinking this? Because I drank it on the weekend. I'll have some of this.
No, sorry, no. Let's specify again. Why are we drinking this?
Because I drank on the weekend and I have left over.
No, but what made you want to buy this
Because
initially?
I'm trying to lose weight.
Not made by Pinnacle, is it?
No,
Oh, thank fucking
yeah,
Christ.
no. So we're finally reviewing a drink that's not Pinnacle Drinks. But yeah, it's better beer. It's kind of only come out recently, to be honest. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 81 calories.
It's currently on like this sort of a trend where like it's really getting popular really quick, because if you go into any bottle shop now, you can find a case of this easy.
Yeah, and it's on tap at a lot of places too. So I've never had it on tap. This is actually like, other than the time, this is my first time drinking better beer out of the case.
Yeah. Today's actually my first time drinking better beer, full stop.
Yeah.
Somehow, out of all the like low carb random beers that I've had, I've never had better beer.
So 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 81 calories at 1.1 standard drinks. Still decent alcohol content.
1.1, so it's sort of that halfway mark between a lighter beer and a normal
Still
strength
4.2%
beer,
alcohol.
4.2s.
I think it's quite good, actually. I'm actually impressed.
I really like it. It's good enough that even I would, if it was cheap enough, I would buy it. Like for a low carb, it's probably the best low carb beer I've had. I'd even go far enough to say. I can see why it's popular.
Yeah.
I can see why people like it. I seriously could not take the difference between this and
I'd give it
any other beer.
I'd give it a solid 4.8.
4.8, I think you're being brutal at a 4.8. I'd even go far. I'd probably rate this above 5. Probably a 5.2. Like, it's really good. I can see why it's popular. I agree with the market. It's not often I agree with mainstream.
But it's good.
I hate the mainstream, one could even say. But I like it. It probably is it's a tad on the higher price side, given that I'm not...
But there's extra benefits, Aaron.
Yeah, but I'm not watching my weight. I have a very fast metabolism, actually.
It was
And
$58 a carton.
yeah, that's what I mean. You get cartons for like $50 still. So I'm
special,
not paying the extra $8. Yeah, there's always something on special for $50.
Yeah. Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Six Pack Podcast. We had a bit of a blast doing this one. There was a lot of talking, but we still obviously had the Drawing Challenge, and the ChatGPT was something new for us as well. So yeah, basically just want to say please like and subscribe. Leave us any feedback in the comments. But we also have other methods of feedback.
We would love some more fan input into our channel. The two main ways I'd like you guys to do that are we have a Discord. So please join the Discord, and anything you could suggest for the podcast, please put it in there. Or secondary, if you go to our About section on any of our channels and click on See Business Email, send anything through to there. It'd be great for any suggestions from you guys. We'd be more than happy to take them, even if they're just negative and just say, fuck you. Happy with that.
Could be an interesting segment of the
Well,
podcast.
it's probably a lie to say happy with that. We may cry ourselves to sleep that night, but hell, we'll take it.
But otherwise, click on Aaron to check out last week's episode of the Six Pack Podcast. That was a good one. And also press on me if you're interested in seeing our gaming channel, some of our gaming content. There is a Fortnite video for you to check out. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.